So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the podcast straight from Zante in Greece. Görki, how do you feel so far? 2 days before the competition.
Thanks, I feel great. I'm motivated, I'm in a good mood, and I hope Roman and Alex too.
Yeah,
we are ready for it, and we are very excited and cannot wait to compete.
Nice. It's like a different situation. It's open air. 2 weeks before we went to Albufeira, one of the biggest comps this year, because there was a prize money from over I don't know how much we calculated yesterday.
In total, 20,000 euro prize money.
20,000 euro prize money.
Yeah,
first place 10,000.
Last then they say a few girls overnight.
That was great because I think last time we had that amount of money in a competition, it was like a decade ago. No, sorry, just in 18. 18 it was last year, I think, with the Roadhouse with that kind of money. So.
And the whole career of your Flair bartending life, did you ever made it to the first place and won like a decent amount of money, like compared to Albufeira, the 10K?
Oh no, for me never happened. I think the maximum I got, it was like 4,000, something like that, 4.5. Yeah.
So that is one, but before you went to the competition, what went through your mind when Miguel announced it will be 10K? That pushes you more forward to train more, or you were like?
Yes and no. I mean, money is only one part of the motivation, I guess, and the real motivation is the first place because of the trophy and winning the competition. And money, I think, comes in second place, but of course, that amount of money, it's also a huge motivation also, yeah, of course. But it's not the 100% of the motivation.
Yeah, Görki, how do you feel?
For me, in competitions or when I enter competitions, money is never a motivation for me. For me, it's the motivation to improve myself, to travel, of course, and to see my brothers and sisters, and of course to fight against myself to be better on stage and to be cleaner as the last time.
Yeah.
I think the good thing on putting that amount of money is that you will have the whole world competing. That's the best thing, the lineup.
Yeah.
And that makes a competition important, in my opinion. And without the money, sometimes it happens that not everyone comes. And in this case, everyone came, and that was it.
Okay. But Alex, you saw like from the other Flair bartenders, there were like over 60 people competing, that they improved their skills extra for that competition because the prize money was that high?
It can be. For some of them it was anyway a dream coming true to go take part in this kind of big prize money competition, and for some was just maybe another big motivation to get maybe at least the 12th place, because there were some money also for the 12th place. So what's I think motivation for every kind of bartender. For was the first time, for was the first time in a big competition.
Yes.
Yeah. Because anyway, difficult, everything, a nice trip, but in the end you see, you need only to realize it in that moment. Then the congratulations to them.
Yeah, he did well.
Nice. Last year we went to a lot of competitions. We met a lot of different judges. And in your opinion, what needs or what kind of skills need to have a judge to be a real judge in one of the comps? In the past, what we visit, like now in 2024, we will visit a couple more. In your opinion, what is the most skill need to have to be a judge?
I can take that one. So, in my opinion, it's a mix of different stuff. In this case, would be understanding the techniques that the bartender is doing. It can be that they were training in the past, or they were like world champions for bartenders or whatever, and they can understand the difficulty of certain moves and certain techniques. And on the other hand, they need to have experience judging, because judging is not easy at all, and every stage and every competition is different. And based on the rules, you can understand what the bartender needs to do on the stage on that day. Every competition is completely different. If you compare, for example, IBA with volleyballers and with these competitions here are 3 different competitions that are requiring different types of shows and different types of preparation for the stage and the composition of the routine itself. So it's a mix between understanding the technique and understanding the rules and what the bartender needs to do. And then judging, when you're judging, you need to be aware of the mistakes the bartender is doing too. So it's a mix. It's not easy to judge, of course.
Yeah. Gurki, what do you think about that?
I agree totally with Roman, because as a good Flair judge, you really need to have experience in judging. And of course, you need to be, before you start judging competitions, you need to be a professional Flair bartender with like kind of a good level of skills. And yeah, you need to figure out what is really original, what is like more basic or not original. And you need to know the Flair world as well. So you need to know how the Flair world works. So that means
History of Flair.
The history of Flair, of course. Who were the professional Flair bartenders in the past years? Who made like kind of a revolution in Flair history? Who brought Flair more to forward? Who put more like some highlights in the history of Flair, like for example my ex-mentor Nicolas Saint-Jean, or back in the days Delpech brothers, for example, who really invented Flair. Yeah, I mean we guys know that for all Flair bartenders who watched the movie Cocktails with Tom Cruise, there started like kind of Flair bartending behind the bar for everyone, and then and then in a very basic level, yes. And then there show up guys like Ken Hall, for example, who started to do Flair bartending professional in the US and who started to invent Flair bartending, or Dean Charnels, for example. These guys were like really the prophets of Flair bartending, you can say. And with all these, I mean, these guys started to push the round stone to get into motion, and then it got even more and faster and faster. And as you see now, right now the Flair bartending industry is still growing and the level is really high. And for a good Flair bartending judge, this is what I mean with understanding the history. So where Flair came from and what is it now. And as a professional Flair judge, in my opinion, you need to be kind of a champion in your Flair career. So that means like minimum national Flair champion from your country. That would be great. And of course you should have experience with international competitions as a competitor as well, to understand how competition works, how a Flair bartender thinks, how he prepares for a competition, and of course what is really necessary to put so much time into a move or into a routine. So he needs to understand really what is difficult and what is like not that difficult. This is for me very important also as a Flair bartending judge.
All right. Alex, when you went on stage and you did your routine and you had a feeling that you were very good in the qualifying, but you then get the decision, the points and everything, and you weren't that happy how the judges give you the points. How you handle that in your mind? Do you go straight after the con and you get the points then to the judges and complain, or you take it by yourself and say, okay, I give a shit on it, we'll be ready for the next one?
Well, answer is gonna be, I don't say not easy, not hard, but it's kind of a thing that you previously you think that it can happen. So because you know how hard you train and how many hours you spend before every kind of competition you are going to. So whatever then is the results, you know that if you do your mistakes, then you have to pay for it. And this anyway is the best answer I can say. And me, I never complain, and I don't like to, because you must see what you have done, what was right, what was wrong, check it twice and try to make it better for the next one, of course. Even if you are there, you were super prepared. But on the stage, you have this kind of only one opportunity, and you need to do your best. And sometimes you are also powerful or too sure, or you are not sure. And that's why sometimes things happen. So for everyone, you can be the professional one, or you can be still a trainee. So it doesn't matter which is your level. It's totally a playing field. But everything happened for a reason. So every time, as I'm competing since long, every competition, I always learned something. In some competition, maybe one thing. In other competition, maybe 100 things. So I could also try to fix my small puzzle of competition to make the next one every time better and better. So also with years, I see different results, and I'm really happy to see that it's working in the right way. Also because the team helps a lot between some training together, between having a trip together, so the support, which is important, and of course the fun that we have during the trip. Otherwise, without this, nothing works. So that was my answer.
As you said to me once, like, bro, they works all.
Yes, yes, exactly. This is the most easy tool to use, and I'm sure that when you are competing, which means when you are performing, to try to show what you are able to do. If you don't do it with a smile, even if you sometimes make your own mistakes, or you do the best performance ever, you must really remember that without this you don't go nowhere. So if you enjoy it for no reason, then you don't enjoy it. You are just there only because you want the money. If you are there even only for enjoying, then the smile will make the competition the best moment for you, those 5 minutes or 4.
Yeah. Görki, you're part of the Flair bartending scene for a while now. And what do you think? Maybe, first of all, what do you think when you will be retiring from being on stage and maybe switching to the other side on the table to the judges?
I mean, I did it sometimes. I did the switch to the judging panel sometimes in competitions when I was invited as a judge. For me, it's good to have like a mix of. But to be honest, I feel really good, and I am healthy enough and still young enough to compete, so I don't feel old, to be honest. And as long as my bones tell me like, dude, go for it, I go for it. So I will every time, as long as I'm healthy enough and I feel young enough, I will always compete, because this is my passion, and no one can take my passion from me away.
Yeah, that's good. So now we are hitting in
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, try to subscribe. What the fuck, we need to grow. You understand? Otherwise we are talking for nobody, okay? Oh.
In almost like 50 minutes we will have like a briefing, and the running order is not out yet. What do you think? How many days before you need to know what's going on?
To be honest, it doesn't say anything. It should be. I mean, you should know it maybe the day before, so you can so you can set your alarm at the right time or something like that.
And you know how, and then you would know how long you can sleep or not, because the only fight we have is like sleep.
Yeah, I think when the judges decide to do it, like I think 80% of the competitions they do it based on the achievement of every Flair bartender, so they put a more experienced and more titled Flair bartender at the end. That's good for the judge because they see the level in this way. Sometimes it can happen that some of the newcomers are even in a better day than some of the old guys, but it's easier for the judges. That's why they do it that way. But it's also interesting when they do it drawing, because anyone can go on first place, for example, on the stage, I mean, on the right order. That's interesting too.
As soon as we are in a beach club, we must thank God if it's not raining tomorrow. So whatever start first, just good luck to you if it's not
Switch
raining.
the camera to the
Yeah, I will show the audience in a minute.
show the sunny weather.
In the previous edition, we had this kind of problem. So imagine, was not a 2 days qualification, was just one, and anyway, the final on the next day, and they had to move the stage because in the beginning was sunny, then starts the rain, then they had to move her down here, then overnight was not too light for the rest of the competitors. We had so many troubles, so that's why this kind of competition in this place is more than taking care about the running order. You need to really think about the weather if it's good. Otherwise, nobody will compete, and it is not good.
Yeah, but it's like it is. I mean, every new competition is a new challenge, and you need to deal with the environment you have there. And this is the challenge, and which improves you also as a Flair bartender.
Yeah.
To build up your experience.
And here I'm sure they give this big chance to many others to take part to the final, so that's why they give the possibility to 16 people, because it's not only a Flair competition, it's also the love of what this person does
More about
for
passion,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, because he organized this event that is once a year, and those 4 or 5 days makes all the bartenders, which they are passionate or they are growing in flairing, or they are just a simple bartender, let them come here to join the place all together. And it's made only once a year, which is great. So let's pray tomorrow it's gonna be good weather so we can make this happen once again.
All right.
Well said.
So then, Gurki, you will have the last word. Here's your camera.
The last word, yeah, people. As we said before, don't forget to subscribe us at 4FLAIR YouTube channel. And of course, follow us on YouTube, not only on YouTube, also on Instagram. Roman Flair, Super Crazy Alex, and Gurki Map Official and 4FLAIR Basketball Official, of course. And thank you very much. Stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow the competition will start.
Okay.
Yeah, stay safe. Bye.
If you wanted the 3 of us, I'm making a show to your house, just go Google.
Yeah.